What is up, everybody? The Real Train King Productions 2026 back again, here for a brand new and very special and very exciting unboxing video. If you guys read the title of today's video, this is something I know you guys have been waiting for a very long time. And that is, today, I'm going to be unboxing and taking a first look at the Metal Collection, brand new for 2026, Thomas, Annie, and Percy. So before we begin, I do have a couple of important announcements / updates to share with you guys first. Announcement 1 is I will be doing a poll, sorry about that, you guys, I stutter sometimes. I'll be doing a poll on Monday asking you guys what other 2026 Thomas engine I should review for you guys next. Considering I did pick up quite a lot of these recently, if you guys saw my community post, I picked up the Henry, as well as the Gordon, and James, and another motorized Thomas. So yeah, I'll be releasing a poll for you guys, asking you guys which engine I should unbox next. And just know with these new 2026 Thomas engines, they're going to be going in phases. I'll be reviewing the different engines throughout different points of the year. As for other parts of the 2026 Thomas toys, I don't know if I'll be reviewing the sets, you guys. It's mainly because of the space of my bedroom and also my garage. So that's why I won't probably be reviewing the sets. I'll mainly be focusing on the core meat and potatoes of these toys, that being the engines and the rolling stock, or just the engine themselves. And in this video, I'll be comparing these, the newer for 2026 Thomas and Percy, with some of their original toys. Annie, I'll be comparing her with her iconic Tommy model from 1992 all the way through 2017. The Take-Along Percy from 2002 to 2007. And the iconic, and my personal favorite, 80th anniversary Thomas toy, the Storybook Thomas to the newer Thomas. So yeah, before we begin this unboxing video proper, I do have a couple of important announcements to make. First, one, outside of the fact that these unboxings are going to be in different phases, and the poll that's coming on Monday, my next Lionel Trains video. So, if you guys saw my community post as well, I have some Lionel Train videos in the works. Now, the reason why I didn't clarify the specific engine is because my parents actually bought me this recent Lionel engine. I'm not going to say who it is. You guys will have to wait and see. It's a very rare, it's not super rare like the Lionel Legacy Blue Comet, but it's a rare model from the late 2010s, mainly 2011 through 2013. So yes. And as for other videos, if you guys saw the other announcement as well, I'm going to be going to Oahu for a week. And there are a couple of videos planned. I'm going to be doing one with my parents' GoPro, showcasing the different sea life. Considering I also am a fan of marine life, like rare species of fish, all that stuff. But when I get back, there will be another Lionel video coming out. So yeah. And it'll be perfect in time for America's 250th anniversary. So you'll be seeing that around the July 4th weekend. Anyways, with all those announcements out of the way, let's get into what you guys have all been waiting for. The unboxing and first look at the brand new, for 2026, Thomas and Percy Metal Collection engines. Or, to say it more professionally, the new for 2026 Metal Collection, Percy, Thomas, and Annie. First, context. When were these first announced? So, at the end of, well, in December of 2025, there were leaks shown of a metal collection Annie with the gray face, as well as Gordon. These were confirmed indeed to be the brand new for 2026 Thomas and Friends line for this brand new show. Initially, I was a little skeptical with these designs back then. I also found it a little strange that Annie has the gray face as opposed to her having the embodied face that we've seen from 1984 all the way through 2020. But it's alright. I eventually grew to like some of these new designs. With the history of these announcements out of the way, let's take a look at one of these at a time. Let's do number one himself, Thomas. Upon first glance, the packaging itself is very, very nice. You have the brand new for 2026 Thomas and Friends logo, which I think is very, very nice. You also have the Watch on YouTube Kids, which is actually going to be happening sometime in September. These new toys are actually for this new Thomas and Friends show. And honestly, I'm pretty excited about it. But with the show aside, let's look further at the packaging. You have really good renders of the brand new design for Thomas, as well as Annie. And yeah, Mattel did indeed reuse the nitrogen renders for these new designs, but I don't mind. I think they look really nice. Although Thomas's face does look a little bit creepy, it kind of reminds you a little bit of the Brer Fox animatronic from Splash Mountain when he would look at Brer Bear on the ride. But it's alright though. I can indeed get used to this. As for Annie, however, her new render looks fine. It's just the gray face just looks very different. And it's going to take some time for me to get used to Annie with the gray face. And the reason why, too, I've mentioned Annie with the gray face here is because I feel Mattel pulled inspiration from her Season 12 prototype, where she was initially going to have a gray face, but it was dropped last minute during Series 12. But overall, though, the renders themselves look really nice. I also like the bridge in the background, the Sodor setting, which is very, very nice. You also have you have their names on the side, Thomas and Annie, which looks very, very nice, very, very neat. Plus, you also have the metal collection part up here, and new for 2026. So this is pretty much telling the parents, like, these are new toys of this year, which I believe is a very nice touch. If you take a look at the models themselves on the side of the box, or we can actually see the models, they are very nicely done. Annie looks really nice. It definitely reminds me of the little opening sequence in Hero of the Rails. Her sides, especially here with the lighted windows, look really neat. And of course, you can see the model itself with the new for 2026 face. And we also have Thomas. Thomas himself, I'm going to be honest with you guys, he looks just as good as the 80th anniversary Thomas. Like so. As you guys can see, the 80th Thomas looked really nice in 2025, even though it was a short line to celebrate the occasion. But my goodness, the new Thomas looks really good. I really like how they gave his proportions here. And even the accurate wheels. Something that sorry about that, you guys. I just stutter sometimes. The accurate proportions, too. The foot plate, the new wheels themselves look really nice. Something that the original push-along line kind of lacked. And I think that's really neat that Thomas has the accurate proportions. As for the face on the model, it looks nice. I can get used to this. But yeah, the front part of the packaging itself is very, very nice. Now let's take a look at the back of the box. Back of the packaging. So we have the new for 2026 Thomas logo. It also has important warnings and stuff on the side. which is very important. And also, compared to the 80th, where there was no collect them all at the back, you actually have a collect them all on the back here. You get Henry, James, Gordon, Thomas and Annie, plus Oliver and Toad, which is a very nice touch. Good job on actually fixing a little bit of that, Mattel. And then you also have on the back here, created by Britt Allcroft, she will rest in peace. And you also have a original render of Thomas's promo from 2002, which is a nice touch. And of course you have Mattel down here, and also the exact price I paid for this 2-pack. Overall though, the Thomas and Annie pack, the packaging, and the models themselves look really nice. We're going to be unboxing these guys in a little bit here. Now on to Percy. Now Percy himself, the packaging, just like Thomas and Annie, looks really, really nice. You have the new rendering of Percy, which I can get used to this. Although his render does look a little bit, his face looks a little bit off. But it's fine though. I like how he's smirking like Burr Fox and Burr Rabbit would. I really, really like that a lot. You also have the new for 2026 Thomas logo, like on the Thomas and Annie pack. Metal, and also Percy's name, and new for 2026. And if you look at the model itself on the box, on the little on the packaging here, it's very nice. His face is also very, very, very nice, similar to the Trackmaster 3.0. And also, he has a really, really neat, accurate design. And just like the Thomas and Annie pack, you have your another collect them all here. Thomas, Percy, Diesel, Rosie, Troublesome Truck, Toby, and Harold. And it's the same stuff as the Thomas box. And just looking at Percy's model, it's a very nice model indeed. The design is very reminiscent of the Railway Series design of Percy, which I really like that. Wilbert Audrey would truly be proud of the design they picked for Percy. And also the face. I love that smirking face. He's like, who am I going to play a trick on today? Will it be James? Will it be Henry? Will it be Rosie even? But still, the model itself is very nice. Now, let's get into the moment you guys have all been waiting for. Opening these up. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys right now. Considering these are brand new toys for this new series and new line, I'm going to be very careful taking these out of the box, because I have done a little bit of research on these new toys and they are a little bit heavy. They're much like the take-along models. So, just like when I would, sorry about that, you guys. Just like with other Thomas toys, take-along, Bachman, Hornby, you have to be very careful taking these out of the box. So, I'm going to be very careful, you guys, opening these out of the box here. I think this is how you do it. Ooh! Alrighty. I'm going to be very careful taking them out. Ooh, yeah. They are a little bit heavy. Here's Annie. We're going to take a look at her in a moment. And number one himself, Thomas. And Percy. Ooh, he is very, very nice. Let's take a look at everyone's favorite little blue tank engine. First, Thomas. Upon holding this model in my hand, it's a very, very nice model of Thomas indeed. The proportions are very nice. His iconic number 1. I love the wheels that they gave him, which is very similar to the 80th anniversary wheels, just with a new updated look. And he also has these new magnetic couplings to attach to either take-along, wooden railway, you name it. Thomas himself, the proportions are really nice. I really like the lamp iron, the little lamp they gave him, as well as the buffers, which is an easy fix. And also his proportions by his cab, dome, and smoke box are nicely done. However, considering these are new toys, there can be a positive without a negative. My biggest criticism with these new toys is the unpainted buffers. Seriously, Mattel, you guys went all out for the 80th anniversary toys, painting the buffers, yet you didn't even bother painting them for the new toys for 2026. Come on, Mattel. And also, too, Thomas's back lamp isn't painted, which is another little gripe I have with this new model. But those two cons are just like little nitpicks. This is a really good model of Thomas. His face, as I said, I can easily get used to this because, well, these are new toys for this new show that is going to be coming out in September. I think this is one of the best Thomas toys outside the 80th anniversary and Trackmaster and Tomy Playrail. This is a really good model of Thomas, and I think Mattel did a really good job with this model of everyone's favorite little blue tank engine, Thomas. Now let's take a look at Annie. At first glance, Annie just looks like a regular coach that we'd see in the coach yard on Sodor. But she, of course, has the new gray face for this new series. Honestly, her model is very nice. I really like the details in the windows here. I really like the gray wheels that they gave here, which is very reminiscent of the Tomy Annie, as you guys can see here. And I also really like the new magnetic couplings. I think these are really, really neat. And also, something I forgot to mention regarding Thomas is that their names are underneath the different characters. You have Thomas's right here, and Annie right here, which is pretty neat. With those aside, though, I do have one criticism with these new toys of the new 2026 Thomas line, and it's that Annie's buffers aren't like the what's the word I'm looking for? Aren't much like the Bachmann models. You know how like on the original Bachmann ones, like there would be some red on Annie and Clarabelle's buffer beam. I don't like how on Annie's she doesn't have that. Oh, I don't know how to put it. I just don't like how it just all, like, it just doesn't look much like the, a little bit of the models from the model era. But, oh well, beggars can't be choosers. With that nitpick aside, though, this is a really good model of Annie. And like I said earlier, I can easily get used to the gray face. After all, this is a new era for the Thomas franchise. And I think her gray face does look very interesting. And if you're wondering how the coupling system works with these new toys, what you just do is this. And also you can have Annie in the front and Thomas like that. Pretty cool. Now let's take a look at Thomas's best friend, Percy. Now Percy is a overall really good model. I really like the green that they went with him. I also really like the handrail details here. Very reminiscent of seasons 22 to 24. And also the design. If you guys look closely, Percy is more based off of his Railway series design by Reginald Dalby. And it's very nice. I think Reverend Wilbur Audrey would be proud of how they went with Percy here for this new show. Mainly with the toys wise. Now, again, this face. Percy's face is very, very nice. I really like the look Mattel went with him, where he's like, who am I gonna play a trick on? Kind of thing. Similar to how Brer Fox and Brer Rabbit are, in a way, to me. Now, as good as this model is, there can't be a positive without a negative. I don't like how, just like Thomas, his buffers aren't painted. And also, same thing with his lamp iron. His lamp in the front. And also, his dome isn't painted gold like the original Percy models. Like, seriously, Mattel. But regarding the dome part, there is another Percy pack coming out where Percy does indeed have the gold dome. But on the standard one, though, that's my biggest gripe with the model. And the fact that his lamp in the back isn't painted. Same thing with his whistle. Another point I forgot to mention with Thomas is that he also has an unpainted whistle. But with those nitpicks aside, this is an overall really good model. A really, really good model indeed of Thomas's best friend. Now, let's start comparing these to the older toys. So here's the new Thomas against the 80th anniversary Thomas, the storybook one. The differences are, of course, very noticeable. The 80th one has that more, like, classic series-esque look. And the newer one is more based on the new series. And also their chassis are very different, as you guys could see here. And also the faces. The storybook Thomas is more based on Thomas and the Trucks illustration by Reverend Wilbert Audrey. And the new Thomas face is more based off what we're going to be seeing this September in this new show. I do think, though, both toys are equally good in their own way. And then for Annie, the differences are, of course, very noticeable too. Much like with Thomas, Annie, of course, on the new toy has the gray face, whereas the Tomy one has that more embodied face, like in the Railway series, as well as in the classic model era, hit era, and the CGI era. They also have the same gray wheels, except on the Tomy Annie, she has her name on the side. Annie only has her A marked on her side. And if you guys are wondering too regarding the new Annie and Clarabelle for this new series for the motorized Thomas, there will indeed be a motorized Annie and Clarabelle to go with the new Thomas this October. Yeah, I did a little... I found out about that, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, between both Annie and Clarabelle... between both Annies, I think these are both equally good models of Thomas, one of Thomas's faithful coaches. And yeah, you guys, before we compare Percy, there will indeed be a motorized Annie and Clarabelle, well, rolling stock wise, to go with the new motorized Thomas, which I think is really exciting. And last, but certainly not least, is Thomas's best friend. So, as you guys can see, the differences between both Percys are very noticeable. The Take Along Percy is more based on the model series of Percy, mainly seasons 1 through 8. And the newer Percy is more based on what we're going to be seeing in this new show. They do share one thing in common, though, and that's the magnetic couplings. But other than that, though, they're both equally good models of Percy. Now for concluding thoughts. What do I honestly think of the brand new for 2026 Thomas, Annie, and Percy? Honestly, you guys, these are really good models of these new toys for 2026. I think Mattel did a really good job with these new toys, especially with this new Thomas series coming out. And if you do manage to pick these up, or if you guys manage to find these, I highly recommend picking them up. They're honestly that good. The quality is incredible. They're a little heavy, but they're really good. Really good models indeed. Despite the little nitpicks I have, these are still very good models for this brand new show. So now for concluding thoughts. Percy, I'm going to be giving him a 4 out of 5 with a 4 out of 5 stars with a 9.10. With a 9 out of 10. He's a really good model, just despite some minor flaws. And I apologize for the noise in the background, you guys. As for Thomas and Annie, on the other hand, these are also equally good models. Despite their little nitpicks, Thomas and Annie both get a 4 out of 5 stars with a 9 out of 10. Despite the little nitpicks, they're still really good models. Well, anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing and first look at the brand new for 2026 Thomas, Annie, and Percy Metal Collection engines. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Thomas the Tank Engine videos, much like this. This has been the Real Train King Productions 2026, signing off. Bye-bye!